We live in a world where our phones are always in our hands, and with just a few taps, we can reach out to anyone, anywhere. But when it comes to flirting, is texting really the same as flirting in person? Can you build chemistry through a screen, or is face-to-face interaction still the gold standard for romance? Whether you're swiping on dating apps or sending messages to someone you like, it's time to explore how flirting has evolved in the digital age. In this video, we're diving deep into the differences between flirting over text and in-person flirting, and revealing the best strategies for both. Stick around, because by the end of this, you'll know exactly how to flirt like a pro, whether it's through a screen or face-to-face. Flirting is an essential part of building romantic chemistry. It's how we express interest, create connection, and even gauge whether someone shares our feelings. But as much as flirting can be a playful and fun interaction, it's also incredibly nuanced. When it comes to flirting, the rules can change depending on how you're communicating, whether it's through texting or in person. In this video, we'll break down the key differences between flirting over text and flirting in person. Plus, we'll give you tips and tricks for both that will help you navigate these two very different worlds of romance. By the end of this, you'll feel confident knowing how to flirt effectively in any situation. Whether you're texting that special someone or having a face-to-face conversation, we've got you covered. But before we get started, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on life-changing tips like these. 1. The basics. Texting versus in-person flirting. Before we dive into the differences, let's get the basics down. Flirting, whether via text or in person, is all about showing interest in someone in a fun and playful way. The goal is to make the other person feel good while also subtly expressing your own attraction. Texting. Flirting. When you're texting, you have the advantage of time. You can craft your messages, take a moment to think about how to respond, and even use tools like emojis, GIFs, and memes to add personality to your messages. This allows you to flirt in a way that feels relaxed and controlled. But there's a downside. Texting can sometimes come off as flat or disconnected because you're not able to pick up on body language or tone. What might sound flirty in a message could easily be misunderstood as awkward or even creepy if it's not phrased the right way. This is why being mindful of your language and pacing is crucial. In-person flirting. In-person flirting, on the other hand, is immediate and dynamic. You can gauge someone's interest through their body language, eye contact, and physical proximity. There's an energy in face-to-face flirting that simply can't be replicated through a screen. You can joke around, tease, and even gauge how well your chemistry matches by how the other person reacts to your presence. However, in-person flirting requires more confidence and can sometimes be intimidating. The fear of rejection can be more intense when you're standing in front of someone, especially if you're unsure whether they feel the same way. But, if you're able to use your body language and confidence effectively, in-person flirting can create instant sparks. 2. Why texting is so popular for flirting today. Let's face it, texting is how most of us communicate these days. So it's no surprise that flirting has found a home in our text messages. But how do you do it without coming off as awkward or too forward? Tip 1. Be light and playful. One of the best things about texting is that it gives you the time to think before you respond. This allows you to keep things light and playful. Instead of jumping into deep, serious conversations, keep it fun. Playful teasing, sharing memes, and even just commenting on something they said or did in their Instagram stories is a great way to flirt over text. For example, if they post a story about a cool new restaurant they went to, you could say, "I need to try that place with you sometime." This shows interest without being too intense. Tip 2. Share personal interests. Another great way to flirt over text is to share your interests. Sending them a song you've been listening to and explaining why it reminds you of them can create an emotional connection without being too overwhelming. Music, in particular, can be a powerful way to bond because it's often tied to memories and emotions. Just don't overdo it. Sending a flood of texts or making them listen to a whole album could quickly turn them off. Tip 3. Emojis or your friend texting can often come off as dry, especially if you're not using any visual cues to express emotions. Emojis, GIFs, and stickers can add personality to your messages, and they can also help you flirt playfully without saying anything too direct. For instance, a winking emoji after a playful comment can change the entire tone of the conversation. 3. Mastering in-person flirting. Flirting in person might seem like a lost art, especially with so many people preferring to stay behind their screens. But face-to-face flirting has its own unique power that texting just can't match. Here's how to make the most of it. Tip 1. Use body language to your advantage. In-person flirting allows you to communicate using more than just words. Your posture, the way you smile, the way you make eye contact, all of these things can convey your interest in someone without saying a word. When you're close to someone, maintaining good posture and leaning in slightly can show that you're interested in what they're saying. But be careful not to invade their personal space. Respect is key. Tip 2. Tease playfully. A little playful teasing can go a long way in building chemistry. In person, you have the advantage of tone and body language to make sure it doesn't come across as harsh. If they mention something funny, you can tease them in a lighthearted way, like saying, "Wow, you really know how to make an entrance, don't you?" This can create a fun, flirtatious dynamic that feels natural and exciting. Tip 3. Give genuine compliments. Compliments go a long way in any flirtation. In person, though, you can make your compliments feel more sincere by making eye contact and delivering them with a smile. Complimenting someone's appearance, style, or even their laugh can show that you're paying attention and appreciate their presence. 4. The differences in emotional connection. So, what makes texting and in-person flirting so different when it comes to emotional connection? Texting. Building connection through consistency. When texting, you're slowly building a sense of intimacy through consistent communication. The key is to keep things interesting, humorous, and light, without overloading the other person with too many messages. The emotional connection in texting grows over time as you share bits of your life and express interest in theirs. However, texting doesn't give you the instant feedback you get from in-person interactions, so it can be harder to gauge how the other person truly feels. In person, instant chemistry. In-person flirting allows for a more immediate emotional connection. The way someone's body language responds to you, the energy in the room, and the intensity of your physical presence all contribute to how you both feel in the moment. There's something about being able to physically connect with someone, whether it's through touch, eye contact, or shared laughter, that simply can't be replicated over text. 5. The best of both worlds. So, how do you combine the best of texting and in-person flirting? The answer is simple. Use both strategically. Tip 1. Start with texting to build comfort. Texting is a great way to start building rapport and comfort with someone. It allows both parties to feel out the situation and build trust without the pressure of face-to-face conversation. Once you've established some light flirting and playful banter over text, you can then transition to in-person flirting when you feel the chemistry is strong. Tip 2. Use texting to deepen connection. While in-person interactions are great for chemistry, texting is the perfect medium for deepening your emotional connection. Use it to share your thoughts, send thoughtful compliments, or even plan fun activities together. The back and forth in texting helps build anticipation for your next in-person encounter. Whether you're flirting over text or in person, the key is to be genuine, playful, and confident. Both forms of communication have their strengths, and using them together can create a deeper, more meaningful connection. Remember, it's all about balancing the right amount of interest, humor, and respect. So, the next time you're texting someone or having a face-to-face conversation, use these tips to flirt like a pro. Now, if you found these tips helpful, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more dating and relationship advice. You've got this.